Uja, Ubenefer, Nahas, Good Rising and Great Awakenings, and Grand Openings. Arit Neter S, Maati, aka Tachia Ahmet, here with another episode of Good Rising TV. And normally we use the HeruScopes to guide us with the tones to be used for the day, for the healing. And after the last session I did, I realized I wanted to do some work with hooponopono, with forgiveness, the ancient Hawaiian spiritual technology for forgiveness. And it's not about, forgiving the other person so much and, letting go of their accountability, but it's about shifting the energy and shifting the energy, in the person who's doing the work. And then, of course, the person, the recipient, will feel the shift, and then they will experience a change as well. So that's how it works. So, if you've been following the news, you're aware of the hearing going on with the guy who likes beer that wants to be appointed as a judge on the Supreme Court. And the young woman who's come forward after being kind of silent about a situation that happened when they were in high school has come forward with testimony that this guy should not be a judge, and all the backlash and everything that she's experiencing. Yesterday, for just like a few minutes, I watched some of the proceedings, and then I got to attend initiation. A friend went through a healing process, and when I got home I was just feeling really sad, and I didn't know why. I just couldn't shake it. And I've been learning the difference between feelings and emotions, and so these are feelings that are just coming up, and I wasn't really sure where they were coming from. So a feeling can come from just being in a space where something happened, or being around people who have certain energies, or your intuition, or memory, or it could just come from nowhere. And emotion is more of a response or reaction to something. I was in an Uber the other day, and the person I was riding with, I was telling him a story, and he said, "Oh, that's not anger. That's an emotion. What are you feeling?" And then I had to stop and think about it. And the anger was a reaction to what happened, and I hadn't really dealt with how I felt about what happened. So that's where I am today with the KemeTones session. So the thing about the HeruScopes reading, the most important thing is that Venus is going retrograde on October 5th. So I feel like this session is just to get ready for that. It will be retrograde for a little over a month. That means that the portal opening, the HetHeru portal will be opened, which means, extra sensitivity, extra loving, extra beauty, extra, what's the other side of HetHeru? Anger, extra, all that good stuff. And then also, it's in the sign of Sidereal Libra, which is Ma'at, which is balance, truth, justice. And then also at this time, HetHeru, even today, before going retrograde, is opposite of Sedna, which is the asteroid that is attributed to the cosmic force of, sexual assault and domestic violence. So it's interesting that they're going to be opposite and both retrograde. So that's what I'm going to be studying for, the next couple sessions. So let's get into the KemeTones, because I will post the HeruScopes reading on the blog. I'm going to just deal with today, because that's what I'm doing this session, and then a little bit about when Venus goes retrograde on October 5th. And then we'll just take it from there. Alright, so currently, or when I made the chart for today, the moon is in the sign of Apis, Sidereal Taurus. And that is also where Sedna is. And Sedna is retrograde, meaning the portal is open. And then on October 5th, the moon will be in Sekhmet, Sidereal Leo, the sign of the warrior healer. And Venus will still be in Libra, or Sidereal Libra, which is Ma'at. And on October 5th, it goes retrograde, meaning the portal opens, or it just appears to move backwards. So we're going to start today with some KemeTones dealing with HetHeru and Sedna and Shasheta. Alright, we're going to start with some heart opening and throat chakra opening. And first eye, pineal gland. Pure thoughts, pure words, pure heart. Go through low, mid, and high range frequency. I don't have anything to say right now. Guess it's gonna come out when I'm doing the hooponopono. Just want to be clear of the sadness, which causes like fogginess. I have this big Zodiac Fork, but it's never really worked very well. It has a really weird sound, but I'm gonna use it today anyway. I don't know. Sadness. Sometimes when the feelings and the emotions come, they're not even ours. So I'm just wanting to clear it. Because I was feeling great yesterday. Telling your story helps release, and then it helps others who hear. But I just haven't really felt like sharing my story for the past year or so. And then when I saw the testimony yesterday, I just decided it was time. So I'm just getting ready for that right now. Alright, so for the global healing, just sending out intentions that everyone who is finding the courage to speak up and speak out feels nurtured and supported and heard. And even though we don't like to find justice within this corrupt system, as long as we know that there's justice with Ma'at, that's what counts, not what the legal system says. If we stay close to Ma'at, we'll find the justice that we seek. Good job. Alright, so this next offering is in honor of HetHeru, Goddess HetHeru, the goddess associated with Venus. And this is in honor of Venus going retrograde in a few days. And Venus will be opposite of Sedna, who's currently in Sidereal Taurus or Apis, and they will both be retrograde. Do a HetHeru HetHeru Portal. HetHeru So that was a little bit of opening up, healing work, getting ready for this HetHeru Portal Opening that's coming up. And it was a good response to the feelings that had been coming up and emotions that were triggered, just to take some action. You know, I did a little meditating earlier. So now I'm going to start working with hooponopono. I'll post some links on the blog post that goes with this video. Hooponopono is an ancient indigenous Hawaiian technique of forgiveness. It's not just about the other person no longer being accountable. It's about shifting your energy, shifting the hold that the event has on a person. One of my favorite examples of hooponopono working well is with Dr. Hugh Len, who was one of the first native Hawaiians to take it out and it become really accessible by the masses. Yes, Dr. Hugh Len started collaborating with Americans, and now it's pretty well known. But I like to always refer back to the indigenous woman that was, given the authority by her people to teach Ho'oponopono to the masses. And I'm going to try to say her name, Morma Edelina Simonia. Okay, yes, so her name is Morma Namalaku Simonia. And as I said, she's the indigenous woman who was authorized by her people to take the knowledge of Ho'oponopono out into the world. And there's even Americans saying that they are the masters of Ho'opono and certifying people, and it's just ridiculous. So anyway, Dr. Hugh Len is another native Hawaiian, and he's the one that took the information to the masses and is actually making lots of money off of it. But the experience that changed his life is he had a job at a institution for the criminally insane for Native Hawaiians in Hawaii, and he said he hated his job. And one day he decided to do something about it. He decided to do Ho'oponopono. So he went after work, after hours, into the office and randomly, or maybe not randomly, pulled out files and did the process of Ho'oponopono, on behalf of the patient in the hospital. So he did it. He didn't open the file. He doesn't know what the person did. He didn't know the people involved. He didn't know their names. But he knew the client's name, the patient's name. So he did Ho'oponopono on behalf of the patient, between that person and the victim, and then also the victim back towards the person. And that after 3 months, the hospital closed down because all the patients had been healed and were released. And that was that. So when I heard that story, I started using Ho'oponopono as a tool for myself, and it's really worked. And so this is, the feelings that came up yesterday gave me an opportunity to revisit this technology and then also share it with you. So for this first session of Ho'oponopono, I'm not going to go right into the depth of the situation. But there is one individual that I would like to do this work with, and that is the therapist who worked for the University of Texas at Austin after I had my situation. And I somehow ended up in her office, and it was a black woman. And at the end of our session, she basically told me that I didn't belong there and that I should just drop out. And I did. I didn't know what had happened to me. I didn't really understand. I didn't tell my parents. After what had happened to me in college, where they told me not to say anything because the people would lose their jobs, I don't know, I just dropped out and started the life that I'm living now, and just did my best to not think about what had happened. Right now I'm going to do hooponopono between myself, and I'm just going to call her Dr. D. And, I'm not going to say her name right now. So the 4 steps of hooponopono are: I apologize. They say I'm sorry, but I don't like to say sorry because I am just fine the way I am. I apologize. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. So you do it between yourself and the other person, and then between that other person and you. And you don't have to, speak to them in person or call them on the phone. You can write out a letter and not mail it, or you can. It depends on your situation. You can speak to the person, or you can write the letter and mail it to them. Right now, I'm just going to do this exercise right here on YouTube. So first, I'm going to do this between myself and Dr. D. Dr. D, I apologize for bringing a situation into your office that was so complicated and so complex that rather than admitting you didn't really know what to do, that you just told me to drop out. I apologize for bringing such a horrible case to you. Sometimes when I do this work, it seems like I'm being sarcastic, but I can't really think of something else to say, so I just say the obvious. What did I do? I brought this case to her. Please forgive me for taking so long to tap into my feelings and bring this out. Please forgive me for any inconvenience or embarrassment or discomfort that you may experience when my story gets out. Thank you for being a part of this valuable lesson in learning how to do what is best for me in the moment and not being so concerned about how you feel. And I love you. You're a human being, and I have love for humanity. As an individual, though, I don't know about that. All right, so that is what I would actually have to say if I was going to see her face to face. It sounds kind of sarcastic. It doesn't sound sincere. Let me try it again. Dr. D, I apologize for not having the courage to stand up to you 30 years ago and for taking so long to do it now. Please forgive me for for any inconvenience that my healing process is causing for you. I don't know what else I can say about thank you and I love you, so I'm just going to leave it there. How I really feel is that I could sue her for criminal neglect or improper guidance. Alright, so now I'm going to try it from Dr. D to myself. To Chia. I apologize for failing you. I had a job to do as a counselor to students, and I did you a tremendous disservice. I see how much this has affected you, and when your reporter first contacted me, I was filled with shame. Please forgive me for only thinking of myself and not thinking of you, and not thinking of my oath to serve and to help uplift. Thank you for finally coming forward with your story. It's bringing about a lot of healing for myself. And I love you. I don't know. Okay, well, I can definitely feel a lot of activity going on in my womb area and my stomach. You know, like I'm trying to process this energy, digest, to process. And I don't really know what I have to apologize for with this person. I really don't. Okay, well, that was interesting. I went off into a little meditation. I don't know how long I've been out. And I definitely feel a lot better. I'm going to go ahead and write an update to the blog I posted in 2014. People have been asking for an update. And then get on with my day, get on with my life. I mean, something came up, and I'm not going to dwell on it, but I'm glad I took action rather than just feeling bad about it all day. And stay tuned for more episodes of Good Rising TV. HetHeru.